Hello and welcome to Ruggles Roundup. It's the portion of our Elevated Mission podcast where we talk about all things sports. We're super excited to bring this episode to you. Well, 30 years ago, the NFL introduced headphones or microphones into quarterbacks' helmets. Well, they actually probably introduced it back in the 1950s, but the NFL allowed it to be that way. 1994, they started having coaches talk directly into the helmet of quarterbacks, and now looks like college football might be catching up. I don't know if it's because of the scandal with Michigan or why now the timing is that they're having these conversations about bringing it into the game, but I think it's a good thing to be talking about.
Oh, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I don't see why you would not have this in the college game. It just makes it easier. I don't know what part of the integrity of the game that it would take away from if they did add microphones into the helmet. I think it just makes it a quicker, faster game, lets those quarterbacks have more time to be able to read the defense that's laid out there in front of them, and maybe make some audibles, do some things that maybe it probably develops the college game even further.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't even mind if they took it to a step further in the NFL at the college level, and that is to put microphones in every player's helmets, offense and defense, not just the middle linebacker and the quarterback, like everybody on both sides of the ball. You really don't have to hand signal anything in, and I wouldn't even mind giving them a mic. Maybe that's only for that player, like the quarterback or the middle linebacker, that they can off of reading, and this would be a per team decision, but allow it, and they can actually make changes to the scheme, right, to the call on the offense or to the scheme on the defense, and actually make adjustments without the other team being able to pick any of those things up. There doesn't need to be that gamesmanship. I don't think really doesn't add to the game. For the fans, this is really, they don't even really see it, right? It doesn't affect their viewing of the game. It just makes it a more efficient game and takes out some of the, oh yeah, let's read their lips, or I know their hand signals and I'm going to steal plays. I mean, some of that's fun for the coaches, and the players, I guess, if you have that ability to do that. But really, I'd just rather have a clean game where these guys call in their plays. Everybody knows what the play is. It's easy, and they can just move forward and play their optimal game.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, nobody. I mean, you played at a college actually one time where the whole hand signal thing won you guys a football game against your rival, as you were coaching for Ferris State D2 powerhouse,
Yep.
and one of the coaches had played at Grand Valley. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was the quarterback at Grant Valley, and he was our offensive coordinator at the time at Ferris, and they hadn't changed their hand signals, so he literally, it wasn't like we spied on them or anything. They literally were using the same hand signals, so we knew what offensive play they were running before they ran it, so we could literally yell out, inside right, that's where they're running the ball, and unless they were gonna stop using those hand signals, because literally they could hear us yelling it out every time they made the play call, we were going to be able to rally to the ball faster than you would if you didn't have that information. And
Yeah.
luckily for us, they didn't change it the entire time. And so, we were able to get a win against them. So.
And as fun as that is probably for you guys and the players, as a Grand Valley fan, that's got to be one of the worst feelings in the world. Just being like, we prepared all week, and we're losing because somebody knows our hand signals. They're not
Correct.
better at football than me, because that's how you want to win and lose football games. I think that's how the fans want to see games won and lost, is who's actually better at the game of football, who's better at creating better schemes, who has the better players, and using those players to a better degree. That's how you want to see the game get played. You don't want to see it having signs stolen and giving this team an extra advantage that has really nothing to do with the actual sport of football.
Yeah, absolutely. We may have won that football game regardless of those hand signals, but you don't know, right? You just don't know because you do have that advantage, and you'd be crazy not to take advantage of it. It wasn't like we were doing something against the rules. Literally, they were telling us their plays. And so, I don't like it. I would rather, I'm going to take it if they give it to me, but I'd rather them just be able to call, and we're able to call, and it goes right into the helmets. And like I said, I'm for get it to every single player, and you could just go, just go play.
Yeah,
We've got the
absolutely.
technology to do it. There's no reason not to.
No, completely agree. We've been doing it in the NFL for years now, and all these colleges make enough money to be able to put the headphones in those helmets. And I think it cleans up that game just that little bit more. That I think fans won't even notice, but for the competitiveness of the game will help.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and it eliminates that as a scandal, like, of someone
Yes.
reading, other teams' play calls. It becomes a non-factor. It eliminates that. And the more we eliminate NCAA or these governing bodies, finding coaches, doing rulings, doing these things, just want, it all to be a level playing field about, okay, if you're a better recruiter, if you've got a better scheme, if you're better at getting your players ready for the football game, that you win, and you get to, just go out there and play football, and then not to be a part, oh, they got punished, they got scholarships taken away, any of that kind of stuff, because, oh, they figured out what these people are calling. I mean, for me, I love to see it go away, and I always love to hear less about the NCAA and more about these teams and the players and the coaches.
Completely agree. It would be a great addition to the college game. So I put my stamp of approval on put those microphones in the helmets.
Well, thank you for watching and listening to Ruggles Roundup on the Elevated Mission podcast. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you click the subscribe and you click the like button. We love that you're out there listening and watching us talk about all things sports. We'll see you next time.